How's everyone doing out there today? I'm Dissonance. Thanks for tuning into my channel. Today's video is the final day, actually after the end of the final day of the Godforge Alpha in its entirety. And I just got the clip of my best final battle in the background. It wasn't super extraordinary or anything, but my one regret is that I just didn't have enough time at the end to really play around with the team, play around with like the end game stuff. But overall, I did really enjoy my time over the past nine and a half days of doing this alpha challenge. As you can see, I did pick up some pretty clutch legendaries at the end. My idea behind this comp was counterattack, double ally attack, and just a big enemy max HP and attack damage nuker. I mean, honestly, it went pretty well until we get to a certain point where he scales up way too much and I just can't keep my DPS units alive. And then it becomes the Heimdall show. Now, I think we might see this at the end. I think Heimdall actually had the most damage just because he lived so much more than everyone else, which is kind of sad. I did need to fix that, but I was running this run at like 1:30 in the morning. So I didn't have a chance to really play around. I picked up on the very last day, I picked up Gok and Ra, and I thought it would be really sweet to make some kind of blaze activation type comp. And they have some interesting interactions with either consuming the blazes on your allies or throwing all the debuffs back. And I thought that would be really cool to play around with, but it was so late I just kind of had to give up. It's unfortunate, but it was fun nonetheless. We had a good time. Especially I enjoyed the parts of troubleshooting and progressing through the difficult waves, building up different units to do different jobs. That's always the kind of stuff that I find fun. That's why I really enjoy the free-to-play-esque challenges and things like that. So yeah. So this is the end of the Godforge Alpha. Of course, I will be continuing to make content on Godforge in the future as things arise, as news comes up, as beta approaches and such, but there might be a little bit of a gap for a little while depending on how quickly things progress, but that's okay. We'll still be here. You don't have to worry about that. I'll skip forward in the video a little bit. It does actually get quite lengthy because they don't take very many turns. Every time Fafnir does one of his attacks, you can see there's usually like 3 parts to it, and we're counterattacking all of them. So we're not racking up a lot of turns, but we are racking up a lot of hits, which is cool. I thought it would be a great way to keep the fight going. What I did not factor in was some way to keep Fafnir from getting turns. I did have a lot of survivability here, and that worked really well for a really long time. I even spent some time farming up my skill tomes. As you can see, my damage dealers are dead. I did tome all of the legendaries though, which was good. But I didn't get as much of a chance to farm the end game gear as I really needed to or wanted to. So sometimes the effects were not landing and such. This team I built pretty much all on buffs instead of debuffs. kind of for that reason, because I didn't really have the accuracy thresholds to run like bleed based champions and have it be consistent. So we're kind of, this is kind of where it goes on for a little while. Just the 3 support units trying to res the DPS. They get 1 or 2 hits off and die again. Because I was running on auto, I didn't sync it up extremely well, and the single revive goes off before the whole party revive. That would be something you could definitely fine-tune with the divinity, like either initial divinity or the initiative stats, but that was you know, the kind of testing I didn't unfortunately have the time for very early this morning. So let's keep it going forward. I show off the builds here, what I was rocking with. Here's Heimdall all on his own, putting up the last like million damage by himself. Let's go a couple more. Oh, we went a little too far. Here we go. Right here, behind my head, you see about 1 million damage on Isis, 6.5 on Beowulf, and 7.5 on Heimdall. He was cooking. I did have him in like a very high damage build when I was progressing through the waves. I kind of went a little more survivability with him. You can see he's got a ton of defense, a decent amount of health, and then I just tried to get him as fast as possible. Speed was definitely something that I put a high priority on. I was trying to farm 142 for those speed sets and the accuracy sets. But some of the pieces I just could not find good rank 4, rank 5 items for. And the other thing that I was falling really behind in was weapons. When I did farm the weapons, I didn't have the right god steel for them, and I didn't have the ability or the time or the energy. Now you could see I was capped here. The deposit of energy for the last day came in while I was unfortunately busy last evening, and I didn't get to spend any of it. So we lost out on some efficiency there. But the placement we ended up finishing in number 669 for completing floor 150, completing the caverns. I was aiming for a little bit higher than that, but that's okay. Top 1000, I'm pretty happy. The one that I'm most happy with, we just barely avoided getting knocked out of the top 100 on stars. There was a couple more I might have been able to push, but I realized that I didn't have a charm unit for, oh gosh, I can't look in the game anymore, but it was one of the, maybe somewhere in the 60s, somewhere. I don't remember exactly. The only unit that I had capable of placing a charm was Isolde, but there was no Tristan in the waves as an enemy to place it on. So I kind of knew then, if I didn't farm more heroes, that I wasn't going to be able to finish all the stars anyways. So I got a little stuck there. Final boss damage, we came in at 571, which is a little bit higher than my stage level, you know, clearing time. So that's all right. I would have loved to be able to double that number with a couple retakes on the comp, but that's all right. We got plenty of exciting times coming up ahead as we get closer to launch with, I'm sure there will be a beta, and I'm sure that I'm going to want to be involved in it. So if you've come along for the alpha journey, I appreciate it. Thank you for watching my videos, and I hope that you'll continue to watch them in the future. Thanks again, and we'll catch you on the next one.